Oh, I keep forgetting stuff. Y'all see my nose rings? I do got my nose pierced. One right there. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kibriana Lachey, and if you're new here, please go and subscribe to my channel for me, please. I'm new to YouTube. I'm trying to grow my family. My content will not be 100% Air Force related content, but of course, since I'll be joining the Air Force, I don't mind at all, giving y'all informative topics on my experience in the Air Force so far. But yeah, if you're new here, please go ahead and subscribe for me, so you can stay updated to when I do talk about Air Force stuff, or if there's anything you want to know with about what I've been through so far, go ahead and just do that for me. Hit that subscribe button and let's get the rolling. Okay, I wasn't planning on making this video today. I was planning on making a video overall. I just wasn't planning on making it today. So I apologize in advance if I'm unprepared, if my wording, if everything is all over the place. I decided to go ahead and make it today because I had my second DEP'd call today with my recruiter, and I already had my gear on. And let me just show y'all, they got some good stuff. All right, now, yeah, gotta keep Jesus with me. Demons around here. This, whew. Yeah, I like it. And I had a little shirt, but I like how this goes so far. Hope y'all could see that on this new iPhone phone. It blurs out too much, focuses and stuff. But yeah, I just want to tell y'all about my Air Force journey so far, what I've been through so far, and how it went for me so far. I'll start off by answering a few questions first, and then I'll skip into my recruiter enlistment process, my Meps process, and all that. So first question, why did I decide to join the Air Force? To keep it simple, and I'm gonna try to keep it simple. I'll be talking now, I talk a lot. So to keep it simple, why I wanted to join the military overall is because I have a lot of family members, uncles and aunts who are doing very well for themselves, who have motivated me. They really just played a big role in it. They've inspired me. They're doing so well. They're great leaders. They're very well structured, disciplined, organized, and everything. And I was like, I want that. I want those traits within me, and I just want to be a part of something bigger. So that was one reason I wanted to join. And as far as me joining the Air Force, I chose the Air Force because after I had my son, I was just told that the Air Force was more family oriented and it was more accommodating to single mothers. So that's why I decided to pick the Air Force overall. Plus, I just heard they're the best. And I just heard they're better, they're good, everything's good about it. And I'm very excited to be joining in. I was in the NJRTC program at my high school all throughout 4 years, and they gave me a little taste of it, the drills, the PT, learning the chain of command. It gave me a small taste of the military, and I was like, I just want to experience it full time. So that's why I decided to, that's why I chose the Air Force. My second question is, am I going in enlisted or am I going in as an officer? I do have my Bachelor of Arts degree in sociology. However, I am going in enlisted. Simply put, I feel like what makes a great leader is when you've experienced what you're being trained to be. So me personally, this will be a new journey for me. This will be a new lifestyle for me. I don't know anything about it, and I didn't want to jump right in leading individuals under me when I'm fresh up in it myself. I just chose to, for me, I just wanted to go through, experience both sides first so I can understand the enlisted side. Then I just feel like that'll help me be a better officer whenever I do decide to commission. So my next question is, what is my job and my ship date? I am shipping out on 5 April 2022 as a 4NOX1. I'm very, very excited to have a medical job. It was number 2 on my list. And y'all heard the horror stories. Oh, everybody say, okay, it's hard to get a medical job. There's no medical jobs going available. The only way you can get a medical job is if you go in open general, open this, and there's just no way you get a medical job. Honey, I sworn to DEP'd on January 6th of 2022. My recruiter called me on January 20th of 2022 and told me that he was able to get me my second pick job, which was aerospace medical service, to leave out on April 5th. My recruiter, the GOAT, he's bomb. He did that. Like, shout out to my recruiter. He really did that. He got me my number 2 pick, and it's a medical job. I was very excited for it. So y'all, it's hope out there. It's hope out there. If you got a good recruiter, and you just need to find you a good recruiter that'll work with you. So my next question is, how long is my tech school? My tech school is going to be 98 days in Fort Sam, Houston. I don't know too much about it right now, but from what I've researched, it'll be split up in 2 phases. The first phase will be at Fort Sam, Houston, and the second phase could be at any other base. I'm not sure what those bases are, but when I look them up, I'll edit them on here so y'all can see them. Now I'm going to get into my enlistment process overall, and then I'll get into my Meps process. So my process took about a good 2.5 years on and off, but that is because I stopped my process when I first started and I picked it back up a year later. So I'm going to just tell y'all a little bit about that. If y'all don't know, I got pregnant my senior year of college back in 2018, and I had my son in December of 2018. I graduated college in May of 2019. I graduated on my birthday, by the way. So graduated college and it was my birthday. I had a good time after that now. But yeah, I graduated college back in 2019, and when I wanted to talk to my recruiter, when I reached out, just called numbers, I was told that because I just gave birth, I wasn't allowed to start my process until my child was at least 6 months old. So that's why, although I had my son in December of 2018 and I graduated in 2019, I didn't start my process until about June, until he was 6 months old. But the very exact day he turned 6 months old, I went down to my hometown to go talk to a recruiter to get everything started. And I was ready. I was ready to get it started. I was ready to go. I knew this is what I want to do. I still know this is what I want to do. But at the time, I messed around and told him a lot of medical stuff that was in my records, and that I gotta get a medical waiver. Like, if I answer yes to any of these questions, that's gonna put an extra 6 months to a year on my process. So that really discouraged me. I was gonna go forward with it, but at the time I was applying for the Air Force. I was talking to a recruiter, applying, trying to get all that going, but I also was applying for civilian jobs as well. Like, I'm a fresh college graduate, so I'm sitting up here researching jobs in my field to see what's available. And at that time, I was just telling myself, I don't want to wait and go through this process for almost a year when I could be like working or something in my field, doing something that I like. So that's kind of how it was for me. When I first started talking to a recruiter back in 2019, I told myself, I'll keep talking to my recruiter even though I know I have to get medical stuff. But it was kind of like, you're applying for these jobs. If this job that you really want call you back before your recruiter calls you back and tells you that you're ready to process, whichever one comes first, take it. The job that I'm actually in now, I've been here for about 2 years, but the job that I'm in now actually came about first. So the job came first, so I decided at that moment of time, I decided to quit my process. So I'm not bored with what my job is now, but the thought of joining the military has always been on my mind. It has always been an interest. It's just, I think about it all the time. So I was like, you know what? Like, just go ahead and experience it no matter how long it takes. Like, you happy, your life is decent, If you don't like it, you can always come back to this. Like, I have a degree behind my name. I have a lot of credentials behind my name. You've experienced college. You went into college as an 18-year-old freshman. You experienced that. You've experienced working as a civilian. So I just told myself I just wanted to go ahead and experience the military full time. And that's what I decided to do. So around March of 2021, I reached out to a recruiter in the city that I'm in now. And when you talk to a recruiter and you tell one recruiter something, you can't go to another recruiter and try to, you know, hide it and not mention it, because everything, I feel like my light's messed up, because everything is gonna follow you down. So you go over here and you talk to a recruiter, you go over here, let me stop. But you go over here and you talk to a recruiter, you go over here and talk to a recruiter, it's gonna follow you everywhere you go. So just keep that in mind. And everything I told the other recruiter, I told this recruiter. I'm gonna get into that after this on my opinion on, you know, when you're talking to your recruiter about medical stuff, because I don't want to say you shouldn't say things, and I don't want to say you should say things. So I'll put my opinion out there. Again, these are my opinions. Don't be blaming me for nothing if y'all decide to go. So yeah, talking to the recruiter that I'm talking to now, I did my questionnaire with him. After I did my questionnaire, he got my medical questionnaire sent up to Meps. And I can say from the time I talked to my recruiter, I started talking to him in March of 2021. And I think from between March and 2021 and October of 2021, that's how long my medical process took overall. Like waiver, getting a medical waiver, anything medical related, that's how long my process took. So from March of 2021 to October of 2021. Now between this time, the last time I heard from my recruiter was actually in June. So from March up until June, they had me sitting in so many different paperwork, so many different things, so many different doctor's notes, had to go to doctor's visits, had to get this, had to get that. And it honestly was annoying, you know, because I work full time, having to take off work, having to leave work to go do this, to go do that. And they kept asking for a lot of repetitive stuff, and it was just very annoying, because I'm like, I already sent this in, and y'all keep asking for the same stuff. But you know, it's the military, so if they need it, you know, I'm going to give it to them. I just have to deal with it. So from March up until June, all that full time was nothing but paperwork, medical paperwork. And I want to say from June until October is, I want to say, how long it took for Meps to call me back to process for my physical. That's not how long it took for me to get a medical waiver. That's how long it took for Meps to say, hey, you know, send her down, she can come down and we can do her physical. So yeah, but luckily, you know, I'm happy with my life, you know, things wasn't so bad, so it didn't seem like a long time. I was having fun. I think I went to Houston and stuff during that time, so it didn't seem long, but like, you know, counting the months and days between it was a long time. But you know, it wasn't that bad because I was always busy anyway. So I wound up going to Meps. I'm not going to talk about my Meps experience because I feel like, I mean, everybody's experience can be different, but I feel like that should be for another video, because that's going to be long, even if I decide to talk about it. But I will say the Meps that I went to, you know, it was just a long full day of hurry up and wait, just waiting. And somebody told me, they say that, you know, when you join the military, it's going to be a lot of hurry up and waiting. And that's what it was for me at Meps. So I'm sure y'all can get on Google, y'all can get online and read about Meps. And you know, that's what I did. I used to look at a lot of YouTube videos. I used to get on Google and just read different experiences of how Meps went. And it went like that for me. Like everything they said would happen, that's how it went. You know, the hearing test, the depth perception, they do test you for drugs. Like I said, I feel like y'all can find all this information on Google, so I really don't want to get into it. But you know, you've been to the doctor, you play sports, you get a physical, kind of the same thing. You get assessment, except you're doing it for the military. You have to take a drug test. Ladies, you have to take a pregnancy test. You get checked for HIV. Hearing test, vision test. What is that? The range of motions test. I'm not sure what that part was called. The part where you have to strip down. You're not literally butt naked, but you're in your underwear. I'm not sure what that portion of the Meps visit called, but I'm sure y'all aware that you will have to strip down butt naked. Not butt naked, but you will have to strip down in front of other men and women, and just do a lot of, you know, range of motions movie, you know, just little simple stuff like this, just little simple stuff. And you will have to do the duck walk. For me, the duck walk was a little hard, but I made it through. The stuff wasn't hard. It was just very nerve-wracking because the doctor there is just so serious. Like, she didn't play no game. She had a little clipboard just watching. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, ooh, I don't know. The stuff wasn't hard. They just be so serious, and it makes you nervous. But anyway, after all that was done, as far as I did I passed my hearing test. I think I passed everything. I didn't pass my depth perception. Like, I can't see. I didn't pass my depth perception. So I think if you don't have good depth perception, you can't be a pilot and stuff like that. So that kind of, like, you know, was a little sad because, you know, I'm in the Air Force. I at least want to experience that. But, you know, it was something that I could have dealt with. I don't know if I mentioned this, but there were like 5 things on my I had marked on my medical waiver. The main thing that I thought I was going to get disqualified for was me having anxiety. I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression back in 2017 when I was at school, but I've never received counseling for it, and I apologize if this is a trigger warning, but yeah, I've never received counseling for it. I've never self-harmed. I've never thought about it. I've never, like, I feel like it wasn't a big deal. I was very, very overwhelmed with school and finals and stuff like that. Plus, you know, boy problems being in college. I was just fed up. That's my word. Y'all gonna hear me say that a lot, but I was just fed up with finals. I was fed up with the guy I was talking to at the time. And I went to the doctor who diagnosed me with that. I went to her to get my birth control, and you know, she's a woman, so I'm just venting to her. She done diagnosed me with depression, and I was like, I'm just trying to talk to you. You a grown woman, you probably can relate to me, give me some advice. And she marked it down that I had anxiety and depression. I probably do got a little bit of anxiety, but I feel like who doesn't have anxiety? I feel like all of us got anxiety in us somewhere. Like, I just like to be prepared. I just like to be prepared and just be ready for whatever. And it's kind of funny sometimes, but that's just me. I just like to be prepared and stay ready. Yeah, I thought I was going to get disqualified for my anxiety because, you know, it's the military, and I just thought they was going to look at it like, you know, oh, like, we don't need no sensitive woman up in here who's going to freak out in the middle of war, who's going to freak out in the middle of a battle zone. So I thought I was going to get disqualified for that, but they actually wound up disqualifying me for something else. And that was just so crazy to me because I was like, the thing that they disqualified me for, I was like, it's so common, it's so simple, it's so basic. And here it is, I have anxiety and depression, which is a serious issue. Not saying like mine's is an issue, but like overall, you know, for some people it can be serious. Like me, it was just the case of me being overwhelmed in that moment. But I thought I was gonna get disqualified for my anxiety, but I wound up getting disqualified for something else. But the doctor, she told me it was waiverable. So when I go see my recruiter, they just send up a waiver for it, and that was that. And honestly, my actual waiver came back within like 2.5 weeks. My waiver came back in about 2.5 weeks. So between March up until like the middle of December, all of that was medical related stuff. Whether it was doing my medical questionnaire, whether it was getting medical documents, whether it was paperwork, getting my waiver approved, all that took place between March and the middle of December. So fast forward to January 6th, I went back to Meps, sworn to DEP'd, did all this stuff, signed my contract, submitted my job list. I did a 4-year contract, by the way. In the case of if I didn't like it, so that's why I decided to do 4 years. I submitted my job list with the liaison, and that was that. When I went to my recruiter was, I thought he was telling a false report to me at first because, like I said, when I submitted to the liaison, all of those 9 jobs were medical jobs. But when I got back to him, I still don't understand his reasoning to this. Like I said, I thought he was lying to me, but I called around, got advice from other Air Force people. They informed me that, yeah, he's right, that's accurate. So, you know, start to feel a little more good about it, and I just, you know, did what he requested. So, like I said, I had about 9 medical jobs on my list, and he told me, you know, I needed to make my list a little bit more diverse. So, I took a few of those medical jobs out, a few administrative jobs off. There were several jobs on there that I did not want at all, but like at this point, there was nothing I could do. Like there were a lot of jobs that I qualified for, but I list the top 9 jobs that I'll at least be satisfied with. Probably wouldn't want them, but you know, that's what I did. So on January 20th, he called me and told me that he actually got me booked for my second pick, which was Aerospace Medical Service, that leaves out on April 5th. Also, if anybody else out there is leaving on April 5th, please comment down below, because we have a group chat going on. We've just been, you know, getting to know each other, been keeping each other motivated. So if you're shipping out on April 5th, please comment down below so we can get you added to that group chat. So yeah, that's kind of how my process went. I feel like, I told y'all that I was gonna get into my opinion about, you know, what and what not to tell your recruiter. Like I said, I feel like I believe in honesty. I feel like you should be honest about whatever. Like, I just feel like you shouldn't lie. That's me. But looking back at it, I do feel like it was a waste of time, because most of the stuff I told him, I got a waiver for something else they didn't even really ask me about. Like something something that I thought wasn't even that serious. So that's just me. I just feel like if you feel like it's nothing like that, like I know I had anemia before. Like after I gave birth to my son, I had anemia, and I just put that down. I didn't even have to put that. Like, okay, I had a baby. Okay, that's it's not expected, but you know. So I don't know. I really can't tell y'all what to do on that. I'm not here to tell nobody what to do, but I will say for me, it was honestly a waste of time telling him all that stuff. My throat's so dry. I'm still recording. This is on fire water. That water be so good. But yeah, that was my whole Air Force journey, my Air Force experience, my Meps experience. Like I said, Google, everything's pretty much on Google now. So that's why I didn't really want to get into, you know, what happened in Meps like that, because it's all on Google. Like, everything's on Google. Everybody's experience is going to be different. There wasn't nobody hollering at me. And me, you know, like, don't go in thinking you know everything. Don't go in trying to be smart. Just be quiet. Speak when you're spoken to. Like, it makes everything easier. Like I said, I did get disqualified for something, but I received a waiver for it. I also have a dependency waiver. Like, none of those waivers, it's kind of crazy, because I just be thinking, what if I never would have stopped my process back in 2019? I would have been about 2 to 3 years in already. I would have been halfway through my contract by now if I would have stuck with it when I started it the first time. Like I said, I started it the first time and I quit because me looking on Google, listening to other people, I was told that it's gonna take so long to get a waiver, and your waiver gonna get sent up, not knowing if it's gonna get denied or not. Again, like I said, whatever I needed waiver for, I don't think it was that serious. So my medical waiver was sent up, got approved that quick, and of course my dependency waiver was sent up, shook right back down that quick. The very tedious part of my process was like getting all the paperwork they needed, you know, like all those documents, paperwork, different appointments and stuff like that. Like I said, some of the stuff they were asking for was repetitive, and some of the stuff they were asking for, I didn't have anything. As far as my anxiety went, they wanted to know, they wanted me to send them like counseling paperwork and stuff like that. I've never seen a therapist for it. I've never spoken to a counselor for it, and I told them there are no notes on this, and that was really annoying to me because they kept asking my recruiter, they kept telling him, that was like, hey, you know, tell her we need counseling notes and stuff like that, and I'm like, I can't give y'all nothing I don't have. That was just so annoying because they kept asking for stuff and I kept telling them I don't have it. I mean, of course I was being respectful. I wasn't talking to how I'm talking now. Of course I was not talking to them or talking to my recruiter like that. Other than me being diagnosed with it, there's no other records regards to that anywhere. I just didn't have anything to give to him. Like I said, I was just a stressed college student. If you in college, you know how it is. We be fed up. So that's how it was. Like I said, I'm 25. I understand that there are individuals coming in fresh out of high school, so y'all will probably be a little nervous and more scared, and I truly understand that. But my biggest advice is to just speak when you're spoken to. Like, if you have a question, just raise your hand. If they see you, they gonna see you, and they gonna answer your question for you. Yeah, so again, I'm not gonna make a BMT video until I've actually experienced BMT. I really don't like speaking on things that I have no knowledge of, that I have no experience of. So anything BMT, tech score related, I'm not gonna speak on it until I've actually been through it. So another main reason of why I wanted to start making YouTube, when I was going through my process, all I got on YouTube and did was Google single mom vlogs, single mom in the Air Force vlogs, life as a single mom in the Air Force. And there wasn't any helpful videos on that. And I told myself, I was like, I'm gonna start me a YouTube channel. As soon as I get stationed, I'm gonna start me a YouTube channel. I'm gonna start vlogging and document how my day in the life is as a single mom, because that information is, I can't find that information, and that's something that I wanted to know coming in, you know, with my toddler being a single mom, you know, coming in. That's just something I wanted to know. There wasn't many videos on that. But yeah, once I've completed basic military training and I've completed my tech school and I'm at my first duty station, I'm not gonna start making single mom videos right there, because you know I'll probably be like a month or two in. But once I've got some experience and got used to my agenda and routine, I'll most definitely be making several single mom Air Force related vlogs for other single moms out there who is interested in joining. So I got y'all on that. But thank you so much for tuning into my channel. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe for me. I feel like you won't be disappointed. I am a very outgoing young lady. I'm very smart. I'm very bright. I like to live and enjoy myself. Not meaning I like to live and be wild, but I like to be happy. Like, YOLO. I feel like you only have one life, and I just don't believe in living your life worried about other people, stressed out about other people. I don't care to impress other people. I don't care. I'm not here for that. I just feel like you should do what makes you happy. So if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. If you have any comments, please comment for me. If there's anything you want to know so far about Meps, talking to a recruiter, all that, please, you know, feel free to reach out to me, add me on my socials. Y'all, you know, let's stay connected, and I will see y'all in the next video.